So this accessory is going to change the way you take phone videos. So I hope you're doing well and that you're having a great day or a great night depending on when you're watching this video. All the footage that I'm getting on today's video is actually shot on my iPhone 11, so it's not even the latest and the greatest, but you're still able to get really good footage out of a phone that is 3 or 4 years old or even older, as long as you know how to properly use that phone to get good cinematic video. So in my opinion, there are two main things that give it away when you're shooting with phone footage. The first one is that pretty much everything's in focus and there isn't a separation between the subject and the background. The second reason is that phone footage is over sharpened. In today's video, this is one of the things that we're going to try to address to help you get better phone footage or more cinematic footage. So the first thing you want to do is be able to control the shutter speed on your phone and be able to get some manual controls on your camera on your phone. So I've been using the Movie Pro app for quite a number of years now whenever I want to get manual controls on my camera. This is the app that I use. I've also used the Moment app, which is really good too. And there's also the Filmic Pro app, which is a little bit more expensive, but it comes with a ton of features. I haven't tested that extensively, so I can't really speak to that, but I'll be leaving links in the description below to all of those apps so that you can check them out. This is not a sponsored video. I'm not affiliated with any of these companies. These are just apps that I've heard about that are good for phone videography and phone filmmaking. Once you are on an app that you can control your manual settings on your phone, you can set your shutter speed to double that or your frame rate. So for example, for some of these clips, I was shooting at 60 frames per second. So I set my shutter speed to 1/120 or 1/125. And if you're shooting at 24 frames per second, which is the frame rate that will give you that cinematic look, for something like that, you want to set your shutter speed to 1/150th or 1/148th. And the next thing that you'll need to make your footage more cinematic, in my opinion, is using one of these guys right here. This is a smartphone to lens filter clip by Moment. This is not sponsored by them or anything. All the items I'll be talking about in this video, I actually purchased for myself, but if you're interested, there's always links in the description below. So this is the Clip by Moment app. So what you can do here is clip this to the front of your phone, where your camera is right there. And what this lets you do now is attach lens filters. So I'm using my regular lens filters that I use for my lenses, and now I can use those for my phone. When I'm outdoors and I want to keep that shutter speed to be double that of my frame rate, I put in a variable ND filter, which I don't have with me, so give me 1 second. This is a 67mm clip, so I attached this variable ND filter to this clip because this ND filter is also a 67mm size. So once I do that, I can adjust the ND or the amount of lighting that it's coming into my camera sensor. So as you can see from this clip, this is what it looks like with the ND filter all the way to its minimum ND, all the way to its maximum. You can see a very big difference in the footage here. An ND filter is something that I always carry with me wherever I go, whenever I bring my camera out, and when I'm planning to shoot with my phone and I want really good footage, I usually bring this clip with my ND filter. Another thing that you can do as well with this clip is, one of my favorites is that you can adapt a mist diffusion filter or a diffusion filter. A diffusion filter is one of those filters that will soften your footage. And with over sharpened footage like that of an iPhone, this is going to come in really handy. Another thing that a diffusion filter does is to soften also the blooming around your highlights. As you can see in these clips, the light around this light kind of softens, you get a little bit of a glow or a blooming that comes out of the light source. And that's what we call blooming in the highlights. Let's say we have now this, I can further adapt this diffusion filter, another one here by Moment as well. This is the Cinebloom 10% diffusion filter. This is a 77 millimeter diffusion filter thread size. And because I've already adapted this variable ND, this is not going to fit this. So another good thing to have is step up filters so that you're able to step down from a smaller filter thread size to a larger filter thread size. So right now 77, and I'm gonna adapt it to this step up filter. If I were to put this directly onto the clip without the ND filter, I would just use these two, go from a 67 mil thread size to 77. But because I already have the ND, this increases the filter thread size of the outer part of this ND filter is a little larger. It's about a 72 millimeter filter thread size. So now we have attached a variable ND filter that you can use and variably turn that ND, and you have a diffusion filter in front of it. And all of this footage, this outdoor footage that I'm showing you, was shot on the iPhone 11 with the Movie Pro app with one diffusion filter attached, but with this Moment Cinebloom 10% diffusion filter. As you can see, the footage looks really good. It looks way better in my opinion compared to not having it. You can also double up and put two of these filters, or a filter that is of a heavier diffusion. In my case, I have another diffusion filter from Prism Lens Effects, and this is the subtle version, which is very similar to the Cinebloom 10%. I put both of these together, and you can see that my skin and the footage here is softened even more. So here you can see a comparison between the phone having no diffusion whatsoever, now with one diffusion filter, and now with two diffusion filters. Let me know which one you like better. For me, I like the one with the double diffusion, especially when you're filming people and make your subject look a lot more pleasant. But if you're just filming general B-roll, general stuff outdoors, I think one should be enough, but it doesn't hurt to have two as well. So that is it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you learned something new, please hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already for future videos from me. And that is it, and I'll see you next time.